The only way we're ever gonna remotely even get close to stopping racism is if we all come together and stop fighting for one race. We need to fight for all of us together. We all want the same thing. So why are we letting the color of our skin segregating us, even though we're all moving in the same direction? We all want the same thing. We all have the same visions, but yet we're doing it separately.
As I drag the devil down, I will stand alone, no longer defeated.
Hey guys, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but I never have, and so I've decided to talk about it. And it's racism. Like, there's tons of things wrong with racism. It shouldn't be a thing, but unfortunately it is. But I think the way that people deal with racism is what makes it so much worse. So just so everyone knows, I have a little bullet point here, so if you see me look over, I got bullet points of kind of what I want to say. And first off, right off the bat, I was saying that standing up for only one race was one of the bullet points, because when dealing with racism, what I don't understand is that the black community will go with the black community, the white community goes with the white community, Muslim community goes with the Muslim community, and if we're all working together to end racism, and the reason I quote end is because racism will never come to a complete stop. There will never be an end to racism. Just like bullying, there's never going to be an end to bullying or cyberbullying, anything like that. So the best thing we can do is all work together to deal with situations that involve racism when they come up. And if we deal with them in a positive way and work towards a positive direction, then things will be better in the future. And yeah, there'll still be racism, but maybe the amount of people that are racist will die down if we all come together to work on it together. Not just different races, not just like the white people trying to do their thing, black people trying to do their thing, Muslim people, etc. If we all came together and worked on it together, we could go so far with it and maybe even drop down the numbers of racism, just because of the way we're working together to deal with it towards a positive cause. And one thing is to represent every race, because when there's people fighting towards racism, we have a lot of people that are only fighting for their color, like the color of their skin. And I don't understand that, because you always hear like white people being like, yeah, I'm fighting for black rights. Well, we shouldn't just be fighting for black rights, just like we shouldn't just be fighting for Muslim rights or white rights or any other race. We should be fighting for rights of every single person. And to do that, we can't focus on just white rights or just black rights, etc. We can't focus on just one race's rights, you know? We all need to come together to focus on all the rights as people and stop looking at it as black rights, white rights, Muslim rights. It's human rights. We are all humans. The color of our skin has divided us for a long time. And there's people that continue to let something like that separate us as people. And that's something I don't understand. So if we're all going to work towards a better future with dealing with racism, we can't just be fighting for one race. We can't just be fighting for white rights or black rights or Muslim rights, any of that. We need to fight for human rights just in general, for human equality, not just black equality, not just white equality, not Muslim equality, whatever race. Not just one race of equality, but equality in every single race, just because we're people. We are all victims of racial discrimination. And the reason I say that is because I feel like a lot of people only think that one race or a couple races are victims of racial discrimination, which a lot of times people say black people get racially discriminated against, which is true. People say that Muslims get racially discriminated against, which is true. But white people also do. And we focus too much on one specific race being racially discriminated instead of a whole, as all of us as a whole. Black people get racially discriminated all the time. So do Muslims, so do white people, so do Asians. Every single race gets a stereotype or racially discriminated against. Just like when people say white girls be like, or they say, man, you are the whitest person I've ever met. Why are we letting insults and things like that? Why are we defining that as a color? Like if you're listening to music and someone says, dude, that music is so white. Why is that a bad thing? Why are you saying that white music is a bad thing? Like, why are you defining music as a color? You're defining the genre of it as white music. Why are we defining stuff just based on the color of people's skin? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, and people say, oh dude, that's black music. Why are we defining music by race? Music isn't defined by race. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. But if someone says black people be like, and they do an example, they'll say you're racist. But they say white people be like, and there's two white chicks going to Starbucks. That's not racist, you know what I'm saying? But it still would be considered racial discrimination. And what I don't understand is why people only think that black people or Muslims or Asians and just different races are racially discriminated against, and not every single race. Because every single race is in some way. But we have so many people stepping up, like Malcolm Gladwell saying he wants to help the black community. Don't just help the black community. We need to help the black community, Asian community, Muslim community, white community. Everyone needs to come together, regardless of our race or ethnicity, and work together. We need to stop fighting for just one race's rights. And we need to learn how to, I already said that, but we need to learn how to deal with racism. It'll never end. And then I took a quote from Tupac that says, take the evil out the people that ain't acting right. We need to go and stand up against these people that are ignorant and define people just because of this color of their skin. But the only way we're ever gonna remotely even get close to stopping racism is if we all come together and stop fighting for one race. We need to fight for all of us together. We all want the same thing. So why are we letting the color of our skin segregating us, even though we're all moving in the same direction? We all want the same thing. We all have the same visions, but yet we're doing it separately. That's what I don't get. If we have the same visions, we don't need to do it separately. We need to do it together. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say, is that every race is racially discriminated against in some way. It's not just one community or one race of people. It's everybody. Some might be stronger than others, such as when an African American kid got shot. I think his name was Trayvon Martin by that George Zimmerman. Not sure if that's his name or right, so let's hope I'm correct and don't look stupid. But that guy lost his life just because of the color of his skin, because this man, George Zimmerman, was racist. No one should ever have to lose their life because they're just a certain color. And see, people like that, those people, that's a racial discrimination act. They hate on people just because of the color of their skin. We need to stand up to people like that. It's not just black people getting killed. It's Muslim people, white people, every single race of people are having to deal with these things every single day. Everyone has to be careful what they say so that it doesn't come out racist. You know, there's a lot of people even afraid to say the word black because they don't want to come across as racist. So we have all these people saying African American, and there's so many people that I know that are black, and they don't want you to call them African American. I did to one guy, and he said, dude, I'm black, I'm not African American. And it's like, we all need to stop focusing about being politically correct. You don't have to be politically correct to not be racist. Now, I'm not saying go up to a black person and calling them the N-word in a hateful way or even in a normal way, because that's not okay. It's not okay to go up to a white person either. I don't want someone coming up to me and calling me a wigger or a cracker or any stereotype like that. My name's Jordan. Just like if there was a black person or a Muslim person, whatever their name was, I'm calling them by their name. I'm not gonna confront them by the color of their skin. And I think that's something we all need to work on towards the future, to helping racism die down. Because the new generation of kids are being taught this hate, and they're seeing this hate every day. And now with all this thing going on with race, just off of these awards for actors, I don't know what exactly award it was, or award show or whatever, but how black people feel like they're discriminating and only picking white actors. The new people are, like, the new generation of kids are seeing this, and it's setting up a bad example. And now it's becoming, we're not even giving awards out to actors that deserve the role. Now, see, what I'm saying is, even if it was all black people that got nominated, or all any different race of people, if there was no white person up there, I wouldn't have considered it racial discrimination, because maybe at that point, no white actors were good enough to receive an award. And it's not that they weren't good enough to receive a reward because they were white, is that they just didn't do as good job as these other actors. And we're letting the color get to us way too much. It's just a color. It doesn't define who you are. And that's something that's just been bugging me so much, is that people are letting color of our skin define who we are. And that's something we all need to work on together. I keep repeating myself at this point, so I'm about to end this video. But something I want you guys to do is come together with people that are a different color than you and work on this movement together. Not just for one race or not just one ethnicity, but for all of us, all of us being humans and moving towards the goal to end racism as a whole. And maybe one day, once we start realizing, instead of being segregated while seeing the same visions, we can come together and seek out the same visions. Just as the United States is, united we stand, divided we fall. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, I'm going to bed because I'm freaking tired.